Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen again. So I'm Diane. If you've been following me while I go on my pumpkin spice recipes, I'm glad you're back because this is another quick, simple, easy recipe that you can follow and do. Tastes really good. They're great snacks. These are my pumpkin spice, you can call them balls or bites, whatever. You can make them into cookie forms as well. So again, this is a really simple recipe. So let's get started on the ingredients. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add pumpkin, a half a cup, into my bowl. I'm also gonna use a half a teaspoon of my pumpkin spice mix that I made earlier. And this is gluten-free, so I'm gonna use 1 1/4 cup of almond flour. And to sweeten it off, I'm gonna use some agave, okay? Very simple, easy recipe. So let's get started. All right, for starters, I turned my oven on to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's warming up, and I'm going to take 1 1/4 cup of my almond flour, which is here. That's 1, half a cup of my pumpkin puree. That goes in, and my delicious pumpkin spice mix. I'm gonna go with a half a teaspoon. There we go. And I'm gonna go with about 1/4 cup of agave sweetener. And then I'm gonna mix everything up, and then I'm gonna get this on a tray that has parchment paper. And like I said, you can roll them into little balls if you like. So they're bite sizes, great for the kids to snack on. Okay, get everything out. So mix it really well. I got pumpkin spice incorporated into this mix. And as you can see, it doesn't take long to mix everything really well. Again, of course, if you like more spices, you can always sprinkle a little bit more. Smells so good. There we go. Nicely incorporated. See? Okay. Now let's get our baking tray. And they can be, the size that you like. A nice tablespoon is usually what I go with. And we're gonna bake it 350 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes. You can use this as, a way to help you measure out. Roll it into a little ball, using the palm of my hand, put them down if I'm using them for that. And let's see, if I wanted to press them out, I can press them out a bit, just like that. So again, you could either leave them like that and bake them, or you can press them out. When I made these, I made them in a ball. Today, I'm gonna do a little bit flatter. So again, depending on how you have them, cooking time will vary. So maybe for this, about 12 minutes should do it. So I'll see you guys back as soon as I'm done with this. I'm gonna get them in the oven. All right, guys, so here we go. They're all on the tray. Got about 15 bites. So I'm just pressing it down gently with my hand. Like I said, I can make them in a ball if I like and just make them into ball shapes, but we are going to just press them out a bit, and these will go right into the oven. Once that oven is ready, 350 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna check them after 12 minutes. I'm gonna set the timer for 15, but go back in and check them at 12 because I think they'll be ready by 12 since I've flattened them down and I'm not leaving them into a circle. When I made a batch earlier, this was what they look like in a ball shape. So these are already cooked, they're nice and firm. And what I did was I sprinkled a little bit of the pumpkin spice mix on top of it. Again, you could do that if you like at the end. So let's get these in the oven. All right, my oven is singing, so it's ready. So let's get these in the oven. All right, we'll see you back in about 12-15 minutes. All right, guys, so the oven finished baking my little bites. So here's the pumpkin bites that I made. They're beautiful. I actually let them sit in the oven for that full 15 minutes at 350. So that was perfect timing. Again, what you could do is you can have fun with maybe adding some little sprinkles of additional cinnamon sugar powder on it. Not necessary, but if you decided you want to, adjust the flavor, you can do that. So I'm gonna leave these just the way they are because they look so beautiful. And we're gonna take a bite. Delicious. Nice, soft and moist. And like I said, if you want to kick it up a notch, I did a little cinnamon sugar. I shouldn't say cinnamon, pumpkin spice with some organic sugar, but I don't need them. They're nice and sweet, so they're good to go. These are great snacks for the kids. So see you guys. Let me know what you think when you try to make them. So I will try and post a recipe on my website. If you try them, do let me know what you think. I would love to have your feedback, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, see you later. Bye.